Hello and welcome here to Talk ACB and welcome to the day after the night before, and what a night it was. Barca running out 3-0 winners at the Camp Nou against Bayern Munich. Lionel Messi at the heart of things, doing magnificent things at magnificent times. But I'm going to talk about a man today who's been under pressure. The season has been blighted by criticism for him, pressure on his shoulders, and he's even been threatened with his own job. But he's got through all that and he's managed to get his own way across, and finally now he's going to be leading his team into the Champions League final. He's on the verge of winning La Liga. He's in the Copa del Rey final. The treble is very much on for Luis Enrique. And this is a time now, we're not quite there yet. We've still got massive games to come. The finishing lines still haven't been crossed. But Luis Enrique, despite the fact that we're not there, still deserves massive credit now. Give him credit now, because this man has been magnificent. He's rose above the criticism, he's rose above the pressure, and he's carried on doing things his own way, his own little way. You know, he sticks at what he believes in, and there's things he's done in this season which really epitomise what he's about. He's a man who sticks to his beliefs. He's got his own way of thinking, his own way of playing, and in his mind he knows how he wants things done, and he sticks to that. That's what he believes in, so he won't change. He won't change for anyone. It doesn't matter who comes into his office, doesn't matter who he has on his side, he won't change. And that's the first thing. He came into Barcelona and the first words he said in his press conference were, "I am not Pep Guardiola. I am not Jose Mourinho. I am Luis Enrique. I've got my own way of playing, I've got my own style, and I've got my own beliefs. I'll stick to those, and I'll do what I think is best for Barcelona." And that's what he's done. He's come in, and one of the first things he did was put arguably the greatest player, what I think is the greatest player ever, on the right. He said, "You know what, Messi, you're not playing up front. We've got Suarez now. Please go on the right. Please put in a few more defensive shifts. Work a little bit harder, but you'll get rewards." And we saw in January against Real Sociedad, of course, he was left on the bench, and there was a bust-up. There actually was. Lionel Messi came out in the lead-up to the Bayern game, and he said, what happened, but we're over it now, everything is fine. So something did happen. Luis Enrique must have said something, there was a clash of egos, whatever it was. That happens in football. That happens in a dressing room full of high-class players. But what has happened now is Messi sees Luis Enrique as a manager. He is the coach. He is going to do things his way. And Lionel Messi's taken that on board. He said, "You know what? Okay, that's fine. I'll do what he says and look at the rewards." Lionel Messi now playing better than ever, more influential than ever, and doing things which are inhumanely possible. Luis Enrique and Lionel Messi together have made that work. Luis Suarez is reaping the rewards from playing centrally, and that has worked brilliantly. And the same thing has happened with Gerard Piqué. Luis Enrique very hard on him, left him out a few games, made him warm up when he'd already used his 3 subs. He was hard on Piqué, but he's getting the best out of him. He's got in his mind and he's got him focused again, and that is so vital, because Piqué at the moment is such a huge player for us, and his return to form was no surprise that it correlated with our rise in the La Liga table and to the very top of European football. And that's another thing he's done. That's the basic message here. He is a coach, he's our head coach, whatever way you want to spin it, but he's also the manager. He has managed the squad brilliantly this season. He's done exactly what he wanted to do in terms of fitness, in terms of discipline. We saw at the start of the season when he laid out his sort of commandments for the season. You will not arrive late to training. If you are, you'll be fined. You will not arrive late on the day of a match day. You will not go to bed too late. You'll not do all this. He had so many things going on, but it's worked. It's worked brilliantly, and that ties in with the rotation. He used rotation at the start of the season to preserve fitness, to make sure everybody was in the best physical condition going into the last stage of the season. Himself with his staff have made that possible, and it's worked. It's been brilliant. We've got our squad fit now. They're in tip-top condition. Bayern Munich burnt out last night in the last 15 minutes. We didn't. We finished strongly. We got over the line, and that was vital. And one of the most important things as well, because during the Pep era, we were magnificent. We destroyed teams. But the one thing we were vulnerable and where teams targeted us was set pieces. Corners, free kicks, anywhere near the box, it was a massive problem. Every single corner last night and every single free kick, there was a plan. That was not just luck. That was not just pluck. That was a plan. He had structural techniques in there. They were stepping out. They were dropping back in from corners. You have Suarez on the front post. He commands that area brilliantly, something he doesn't get enough credit for. And Luis Enrique and his staff have made sure that from set pieces, we are compact, we're solid, and we don't concede. And that is so vital, because that really was a place where we were vulnerable. I really do fear for corners and free kicks, but now we're looking really strong. We may not be the tallest bunch, but we've got ideas and we've got a plan for every single set piece. And again, you've got to credit the staff, you've got to credit Luis Enrique. The style is a very, very interesting one because whenever you become manager of Barcelona, you've got to understand that it's not always just about winning. It's about the style of play. It's about the way you win. And Tata Martino found that out last season. We beat Rayo Vallecano in the league. I think it was 4-0, but they had more possession than us, and the papers in Spain went wild. Even though we'd battered them in the game, it didn't matter. We didn't play well enough, and that's what we desire here, perfection. And last night you saw that. And what Luis Enrique has been able to do is keep the passing football, keep the brilliant technical football on the floor, keeping the ball, retention of the ball. But what he's also been able to do in that is mix in things which really give us more of a rounded squad and more of a rounded style of play. He's been able to add physicality in there with Rakitic, with Suarez. He's been able to do that. He's been able to add things in, like not only defending set pieces well, but also attacking them much better. Piqué scored a lot of goals this season, 7 goals in total with his head, and that's more of a threat. He's also made us, and the biggest thing you can say is counter-attacking football. When we don't have the ball, under Pep, under Tito, under Tata Martino, we didn't really have an idea. Yes, we pressed, but when that failed, we didn't really know what to do. Now we're defensively very solid. We can relax, we can put our defensive unit there, we've got a structure, and when we don't have the ball, we just wait. We wait for our moment. We know it's going to come, and they just wait for the precise moment, just like Bayern last night. The 5 minutes they decided to come forward, we hit them, and we hit them hard. Straight on the break, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, all in the perfect positions on the halfway line, interchanging of runs, and they're away, and that's a goal, and that is so, so vital in today's game, not only to have that possession-style football, but also to have those vital counter-attacks, and they're so, so important in the big European games where you're up against it, where the pressure's on, you can always hit on the break and relieve that pressure. And the final thing, and the two final things is, number one, he's a strong personality, and that links in with the authority thing. He's got his authority over the squad, but also in front of the media. He never bows to the media, he never gives them an inch, he's always very direct in his answers, he stands up for his players, himself, he's always got his ideas when he goes in front of the media, and he hasn't done things which they've implied. At the start of the season, when it wasn't quite happening for Suarez, a lot of the papers were saying, give Pedro a chance, put Messi back in the centre. He didn't do that. When he dropped Gerard Piqué, he stuck to that decision. He didn't bring him back straight away until he was sure that it was going to be a right decision. And he doesn't jump into things. He doesn't bow to any pressure. He sticks with what he believes in, and that really has paid dividends. And the final point, and the most important thing that I think Luis Enrique has done this season, is instill a winning mentality into this squad again. Because last season, we lost it. Last season, under Tata Martino, we didn't have that fear factor. This season, we go into this game knowing that we can win it. The players were confident. They believed they could go out there and not only beat Bayern last night, but beat them well. And that's why even when we'd scored that second goal, we were going for more. The players believe, the fans now believe, and everything around the club is looking so, so positive just months after Luis Enrique was fearing for his job. He's come up with the help of his players, with the help of the brilliant, brilliant players we have. He's orchestrated those, he's managed them, and he's done a hell of a job, and he deserves credit, just like every single one of the players, and his staff as well deserves huge, huge credit. And I just hope now that we can get ourselves over the line and get ourselves the awards and the trophies that we deserve for a truly magnificent season, and it's been brilliantly, brilliantly run by Luis Enrique. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. I've been a big admirer of Luis Enrique all season. I like his attitude, I like his personality, and I certainly like the work he's done this season. So leave your thoughts down below. It's a great time at the moment. Let's be happy, and as always, Visca el Barça!